What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Vigilante, and you're experiencing the Vigilante effect. I have here some gameplay of Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Vince McMahon, kind of reminiscent of the past, for any fan of the WWE or WWF. And while this gameplay is playing, I'm going to actually be talking about something that's exciting for gamers nowadays, which is the future of gaming in terms of the next generation consoles. So if you guys don't know, I'm pretty sure most of you do know already that on the 20th the Sony is holding a conference which is supposed to be to announce something big. They haven't really said exactly what it would be, but of course all the hype is that they're going to be announcing the next console, which is set to be the PS4. Now, personally, I think that the announcement is definitely going to be for the PS4 for a couple of reasons. One, it would be a foolish thing for Sony to do, for them not to announce it during that conference, because of the fact that there's so much hype around it. It would basically just be a loss for them if they, imagine if everyone's excited about hearing the PS4 and then they come and they announce like a software or just a new game or something like that. That would really be devastating to them. People will not be very happy with their company, and it's really going to draw the hype away from them. That's what I think. Secondly, if you guys are subscribed to PlayStation or Sony's YouTube channel, they just released within the last couple of days, and they keep releasing these quote-unquote PlayStation Evolution videos, where they talk about the evolution of Sony and PlayStation, starting with PS1, and then a video about PS2, and then they just released a video about the PS3, and then it has a hashtag at the end, hashtag PlayStation 2013. What that tells me is that without a doubt that the announcement is definitely going to be about the PS4, and what that also tells me is that most likely the PS4 is going to actually be released in 2013. Which probably means it's going to be released sometime in the fall. And if that's the case, then most likely Microsoft will follow pursuit and try to do the same thing, if not definitely as soon as possible, because of the fact that the reason why the Xbox, among other reasons, one of the biggest reasons why the Xbox has landed as the top console of this current generation is because of the fact that it was released a whole year ahead of the PS3, so it had a time for it to grow. So I wouldn't think that Microsoft are going to back down in terms of them releasing in competition with Sony, releasing it on time or on the same time frame that Sony does. That's one thing. Now, when it comes to what the actual console is going to entail, now, for this announcement, I doubted that he's going to come out and say all the things that people are rumoring about, like, for instance, the whole no-used games, the price tag of the PS3, simply because of one thing. First of all, the PS4, I'm sorry. The release of the PS3 initially, when they announced the $599 price tag, that's obviously something that stuck with them. And they had to do that because it was something that was kind of new at the time, and they had to have the consumers prepared to pay that big price, and they wanted to justify it. But now, people are expected to be that, they understand that if there's going to be new technology, they're going to have to pay the hefty price for it. So they're not going to really touch on that, and it's going to be hampering to them if they actually start talking about the whole no used games thing, because they know how consumers feel about it, how strongly they feel about it. Now, will the PS4 play used games? Will it not? Will it be an online thing or not? If you've seen, there's a bunch of rumors that's been going around where games are going to be only played online, where you put the games in this is for the Microsoft, and also people have speculated it's going to be for the PS4 as well. That you put them in the system, and when you put them in the system, you're going to have to use a code to activate the game, and that's the only way you're going to be able to play it. And basically after that, the disc is going to be void, or it's going to be null without the code. So is something like that, do I think something like that is going to happen? To be honest with you, I don't know if that's going to be the case or not, but I know that there's a lot of clues that may lead to something like that, which may lead for it to be a possibility, which makes me think that the rumors were probably placed out purposely to see what would be the consumer's reaction to that? Here's the reasons why. First of all, Sony has already done something like this, which is the PSP Go. PSP Go is a PSP that's completely download only for games. It didn't utilize any hard disks or anything like that, and it failed because of that. So that would lead me to think that Sony shouldn't do something like that again. They should have learned their lesson, but the idea that they would do something like that is not far-fetched from them. Again, the way the gaming industry has been headed nowadays, with these, when you see the online codes from EA and then onwards for so many other different types of publishers, it doesn't look like it's far-fetched again. And also with something like Steam, which has something similar to that, it still again does not seem to be far-fetched, especially with the industry headed towards more cloud gaming and more DLC type of gaming. So I wouldn't be surprised if that would be the case, especially for the fact that the rumors have been out for so long. But I do think that for sure, I don't think that the PS4 is going to be backwards compatible. And here's the definitive reason as to why, as this match comes to an end, in my opinion. In my opinion, the PS3 and the Microsoft Xbox 360, they're going to have a long life. They're going to have a long-lasting life after the next gen consoles are going to come up, because of the fact that there's still advanced technology, and the technology of the PS3 and the Xbox 360 are durable enough that people will enjoy it, and they won't feel as if it's too much of a downgrade, unless like the next generation is going to be, you know, something that's completely wow. Still, the PS3 and Xbox 360 is still going to seem as good technology. It's not going to seem as outdated to the point where it's from retro status. So I don't think it would be a good move for the PS4 to have backwards compatibility, and I think they know that because they would want people to continue to buy PS3 titles while the PS4 is out, which has been the case with the PS2, and that is the main reason as to why they stopped the backwards compatibility for the PS2 games. When the PS3 came out, PS3 was originally completely backwards compatible with all PS2 games. Then it came out with the 80GB version that limited as to how many PS2 games they're compatible with. Then everything else, the new Slim that came out, that became that you don't have any PS2 backwards compatibility because people were still buying the PS2. And at one point, people were buying more PS2s than PS3s. And until recently, the PS2 was selling worldwide at a very, very good rate. So it'd be stupid of them, business-wise, to have it that you just get, the PS3 and you can play all the PS2 games when they can make double the money and have people still be able to buy or force people, quote unquote, to buy the PS2 and make double the money from both systems. And now I think they've learned that, and for the PS4, they're not going to have it backwards compatible for definitely not for PS3 games. I don't know about maybe for PS2 or maybe for PS1, but definitely not for PS3 games. And that's been what I was thinking. I don't know what are you guys expecting that's going to come out of this announcement, and what do you expect for the next generation of consoles? Leave your comments in the section below, and if you like videos like this, please give it a like. Let me know that you enjoyed this type of content and this type of conversation, and maybe I can post more information on that. Thanks a lot. Peace.